Emergency Alert System, Traffic Hazard Bulletin. Issued, August 13, 2025, 4:36 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, County Sheriff's Office, California Highway Patrol. Hazard, erratic driver, Jacksonville area. Law enforcement is warning of a single vehicle operating in a highly dangerous manner within the downtown and surrounding roadways of Jacksonville as of 4 p.m. Description of vehicle and driver. Vehicle, late model white sedan, moderate front-end damage, missing front license plate. Driver, male, approximately 25-35 years old, dark hair, wearing sunglasses. Often leans partially out of window while driving, shouting unintelligibly. Seen ignoring stop signs, red lights, and driving at unsafe speeds through residential neighborhoods. Public safety instructions. Avoid travel along Main Street, River Road, and Oak Boulevard until further notice. If you see this vehicle, do not attempt to follow or engage. Call 911 with location and direction of travel. Pedestrians should remain off crosswalks on affected routes. Businesses along the route should keep front doors secured and move customers away from windows. Official response. Patrol units and CHP traffic air support are attempting to intercept the vehicle. Roadblocks are being set at likely escape routes. Updates will follow if conditions worsen or if the suspect enters neighboring towns. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 15 minutes in Jacksonville and adjacent areas. Emergency Alert System, Traffic Hazard Update. Issued, August 13, 2025, 5:02 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, County Sheriff's Office, California Highway Patrol. Subject, continued sightings of erratic driver, Jacksonville. At approximately 4:44 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the suspect vehicle described in this afternoon's alert was involved in a severe collision at the intersection of Main Street and West Elm Avenue. Witnesses reported the vehicle striking a parked pickup truck at high speed, rolling once before coming to rest. Law enforcement and EMS units arrived on scene within 2 minutes. New developments. Driver was not located at the crash site despite significant vehicle damage and deployed airbags. Multiple civilian reports indicate the same make, model, and color sedan was seen at 4:52 p.m. traveling eastbound on County Road 7, approximately 5 miles from the crash site. Vehicle condition in second sighting appeared undamaged. Driver description remains identical. Safety instructions. Continue avoiding the previously noted streets in County Road 7. Treat this driver as a serious hazard, maintain maximum distance. Do not attempt to photograph or approach the vehicle while it is moving. Official response. CHP aviation units are now tracking the suspect vehicle. Additional road units from neighboring jurisdictions have been called in. Investigation is ongoing regarding how the vehicle could have reappeared in a drivable condition less than 10 minutes after the crash. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 15 minutes with sighting. Emergency Alert System, Traffic Hazard Escalation. Issued, August 13, 2025, 5:28 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, County Sheriff's Office, California Highway Patrol. Subject, suspect driver, unusual behavior and continuing flight. Law enforcement pursuit of the erratic driver described in earlier alerts is ongoing across eastern Jacksonville. During the most recent sightings, the suspect's appearance, demeanor, and speech patterns changed abruptly from earlier descriptions. Observed changes, 1716 to 1724 PDT. Surveillance and pursuit dashcam audio captured the driver repeatedly addressing unseen kids in the vehicle as "Hey kiddos" in a cheerful tone. Suspect was heard exclaiming "damn" following near-miss maneuvers. Audio sensors recorded a concussive sound wave coinciding with each instance, sufficient to set off nearby vehicle alarms. Other recorded phrases include, "right in between," while steering between two moving cars at high speed. "Don't tell your mother," following danger stunts. "No, we're not getting McDonald's," directed toward rear passenger area during high-speed turn. "How ya doin'," shouted toward pedestrians after a spin-out. "I'm the best drag racing in town," concurrent with extended drift around an intersection. Pursuit units report presence of additional juvenile passengers in rear seats who were not present during initial traffic stops earlier in the day. Passenger identities remain unknown. Public safety instructions. This vehicle remains extremely hazardous and highly unpredictable. Stay off all roadways along County Road 7, East Main, and Industrial Park access routes until advised. Pedestrians should maintain distance of 50+ feet from the roadway due to risk from shockwaves during suspects' vocal outbursts. If sighted, do not engage verbally or attempt to record from close range. Official response. CHP and Sheriff's Office units continue active pursuit with aerial supervision. Traffic units are documenting the anomalous auditory and physical effects generated by the driver's speech for further analysis. Authorities are unable to confirm the reappearance mechanism of the suspect's passengers, who have been observed after multiple prior collisions. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 10 minutes until further notice. Emergency Alert System, Traffic Anomaly Escalation. Issued, August 13, 2025, 5:56 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, County Sheriff's Office, California Highway Patrol. Subject, pursuit continues, driver behavioral shift and new verbal outbursts. Ongoing pursuit of the suspect vehicle from earlier alerts remains active across multiple precincts, with aerial support tracking continuous high-risk maneuvers. At approximately 5:43 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, pursuit units reported a sudden and unexplained shift in the suspect's apparent age, voice, and demeanor. Audio-visual footage now depicts the driver as an elderly male, matching no prior known descriptions for the suspect. Juvenile passengers remain present in the back seat. Notable audio observations. Upon initiating a controlled drift through the intersection of Birch and 14th Street, the suspect shouted, "I'm the second best drag racing in town." During a sharp acceleration past 90 miles per hour, suspect yelled, "Hot dog," in an enthusiastic tone. Multiple near-collision incidents were accompanied by exclamations of "oh shoot," and "oh." Unprompted, suspect repeatedly shouted, "I was in the Vietnam War." At least once, a juvenile passenger appeared to make an inaudible remark, after which the suspect's driving became briefly erratic and he repeated, "Lord protect us," while spinning out. Passengers continue to behave as though familiar with the driver regardless of these apparent identity changes. Safety instructions. All previous roadway closure advisories remain in effect. Avoid travel within 3 miles of the map pursuit route, expect rapid movement and unpredictable turns. Maintain a minimum 75-foot distance from all road shoulders in active pursuit zones due to debris risk. Do not attempt direct communication with the driver or passengers. Official response. Law enforcement has not confirmed whether the changes in the suspect's appearance are disguise-based, the result of multiple drivers, or otherwise. Collision risk remains severe. Multiple civilian vehicles have sustained damage from the suspect's maneuvers. CHP continues coordinated intercept attempts in conjunction with State Patrol. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 10 minutes until cancellation. Emergency Alert System, Pursuit Critical Escalation. Issued, August 13, 2025, 6:22 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, California Highway Patrol, State Department of Public Safety. Subject, vehicle transformation and suspect identifying as Officer Leslie. At 6:09 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, during an attempted containment maneuver on Interstate 14, the suspect vehicle involved in the ongoing hazardous driving incident experienced a sudden visible transformation while in motion. Pursuit footage confirms the white civilian sedan appeared to morph over 3-4 seconds into a black and white law enforcement patrol cruiser, equipped with functioning roof lights, siren, and public address system. The driver, previously matching a male elderly description, was now observed as a middle-aged male in a dark uniform shirt and sunglasses. Audio records, Pursuit Channel. During this transformation and subsequent pursuit, CHP dispatch recorded the following statements from the suspect vehicle, broadcast over open loudspeakers and unlawfully accessing police band radio codes. How are recruits doing? It's Officer Leslie, opening statement after transformation. We're gonna kill some, arrest some people, quick correction, shouted during acceleration away from roadblock. 10-80, hot pursuit, multiple times when overtaking civilian vehicles. What the hell, man, in response to a pit maneuver attempt. You don't mess with Officer Leslie, Officer Leslie messes with you, following intentional collision with a pursuing SUV. Frickin bimbos, directed toward pursuing units and possibly stationary spectators. The suspect also appeared to perform accurate police pursuit maneuvers against other law enforcement vehicles, causing multiple accidents. Public safety instructions. Avoid all travel on Interstate 14, exit 17 through exit 23, expect collisions, debris, and unpredictable pursuit movements. Do not yield to or otherwise interact with any patrol vehicle not clearly marked with department insignia you can verify. Treat the suspect vehicle as hostile despite its law enforcement appearance. Official response. State Patrol, CHP, and multiple county deputies remain in coordinated pursuit. Spike strips deployed earlier were removed after proving ineffective. Suspect vehicle maintained speed and appearance after direct contact. Officials are not confirming or endorsing any law enforcement identity claimed by the driver at this time. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 8 minutes until Emergency Alert System, Unprecedented Pursuit Anomaly. Issued, August 13, 2025, 6:49 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, California Highway Patrol State Emergency Management Agency. Subject, suspect undergoes multiple rapid persona shifts, vehicle destruction event. At 6:37 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, during pursuit near Junction 214, suspect operating the morphing patrol vehicle, self-identifying as Officer Leslie, abruptly lost control during a high-speed lane change. Eyewitnesses and aerial units report the vehicle erupted in a sudden, high-intensity explosion, leaving no visible wreckage or occupant remains. However, less than 2 seconds later, an undamaged late model white sedan appeared in the same lane and speed, now driven by an individual matching the DAD description from earlier incidents, with the same 3 juvenile passengers. Audio observations, DAD persona. Upon reappearance, suspect was recorded over open loudspeaker saying, "Are we in the Matrix?" Followed immediately by, "Hey kiddos, and don't tell your mother," before accelerating away from pursuing vehicles. Moments later, suspect performed multiple high-risk maneuvers between commuter traffic, shouting right in between, at each pass. Safety instructions. All prior pursuit advisories remain in effect. Drivers in the Junction 214 and North Freeway corridors should yield lanes to law enforcement and maintain maximum possible distance from the suspect vehicle. Do not pull over for any voice instructions from unknown vehicles, regardless of apparent authority. Official response. CHP Command confirms this marks the fourth confirmed high-speed response of both driver and passengers in less than 3 hours. The functional mechanism enabling instantaneous vehicle restoration and occupancy is unknown. Pursuit remains active. Additional interjurisdictional units are now engaged. And a bulletin. Emergency Alert System, Law Enforcement Facility Incident. Issued, August 13, 2025, 8:02 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, State Department of Public Safety, California Highway Patrol. Subject, Suspect Apprehension, Sudden Facility Structural Failure during Interrogation. At approximately 7:41 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the suspect involved in the ongoing hazardous vehicle incidents, male, mid-30s, self-identifying under the dead persona, was successfully apprehended by officers following a controlled traffic stop on Westwood Avenue. Suspect was transported without resistance to the Jacksonville Police Department headquarters for standard processing and interview. 3 juvenile passengers present were separately secured. Incident details. During the initial interview phase at 7:56 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a detective posed a simple procedural question to the suspect. Without warning, the suspect leaned forward, stared at the interviewer, and audibly exclaimed, "Nah." Audio levels spiked upscale across the station's interior microphones. A concussive shockwave coincided with the vocalization, causing complete catastrophic structural failure of the west and south wings of the building within 3-4 seconds. Multiple vehicles outside the station were overturned, power to the surrounding block was disrupted. Eyewitnesses reported debris clouds as the suspect walked calmly through the collapse, entered a parked white sedan, unknown origin, undamaged, and drove away at high speed. Juvenile passengers were again present in the vehicle despite being in separate holding rooms prior to the incident. Public safety instructions. Avoid all streets within a 10-block radius of Jacksonville Police Headquarters due to debris and possible secondary collapses. Suspect vehicle remains at large, direction of travel last seen eastbound on State Highway 92. Treat suspect as an extreme hazard with unpredictable destructive capabilities. Official response. Emergency crews are on scene at the police facility. Extent of injuries to officers and staff is being assessed. State Patrol, CHP, and neighboring county sheriff's departments have resumed active vehicular pursuit. Federal investigative teams have been notified of the suspect's ability to cause large-scale damage via vocal output. And a bullet. Emergency Alert System, Pursuit Hazard Escalation. Issued, August 13, 2025, 8:19 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, California Highway Patrol, State Department of Public Safety. Subject, suspect returned to Granddad persona, driving behavior worsens. Following the structural failure incident at Jacksonville Police Headquarters approximately 37 minutes ago, the suspect has re-entered active pursuit. Aerial and unit footage confirm that the driver now matches the elderly granddad description previously documented in earlier reports. Juvenile passengers remain present in the back seat, appearing unrestrained. Incident development, 2014 Pacific Daylight Time. While traveling at approximately 95 miles per hour down the eastbound lanes of Highway 92, pursuit dashcam audio clearly captured one juvenile passenger shouting, "They're in the trees." Immediately afterward, the suspect shouted a panicked "Lord protect us," followed by sustained acceleration, weaving across 3 lanes of traffic without signaling. Subsequent vocalizations included repeated "oh shoot, oh," and incoherent shouting referencing the jungle and ambush. Chase units reported suspect making multiple sudden swerves toward roadside tree lines and entering on-ramps at dangerous speeds, narrowly avoiding multiple collisions. Suspect was also heard again stating, "I was in the Vietnam War," voice escalating to near yelling. Safety instructions. Avoid all eastbound travel on Highway 92 and adjacent feeder roads. Do not attempt to drive parallel to or intercept the suspect's vehicle. Erratic lane changes and intentional contact with bystanders' cars remain likely. Maintain cover if on foot near roadways. Suspect swerving patterns are unpredictable. Official response. CHP, State Patrol, and multiple county sheriff's units remain in active high-speed pursuit. Aerial units are tracking suspect movements but have been instructed to disengage direct interception attempts due to extreme unpredictability of maneuvers. Officials warned that further verbal agitation of the suspect by passengers appears to significantly increase hazard level. And a bulletin. Emergency alert system, pursuit behavior unstable, multiple persona switches. Issued, August 13, 2025, 8:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, California Highway Patrol State Emergency Management Agency. Subject, repeated rapid persona changes during active pursuit, vehicle morphing continues. Pursuit of the suspect continues along the Highway 92 and surrounding area with escalating danger due to frequent and unpredictable changes in the driver's apparent identity, vocalizations, and vehicle appearance. Observations, 2035 to 2042 PDT. At 2035 Pacific Daylight Time, vehicle was observed as a black and white law enforcement cruiser with the driver identifying as Officer Leslie, calling over the radio. 10-80. Hot pursuit. How are recruits doing? It's Officer Leslie. Frickin' bimbos. Less than 45 seconds later, a sudden flash resulted in a transition to a white sedan with the driver yelling cheerfully as Dad. Hey kiddos, right in between. Don't tell your mother. At 2038 Pacific Daylight Time, a violent skid produced a cloud of dust and gravel, revealing the driver now as Granddad, shouting, "I'm the second best drag racing in town. Hot dog, Lord protect us," after one near spin out. Multiple rapid switches observed between the 3 personas in quick succession during the next minutes, causing the vehicle to morph visibly with each change of identity. Safety instructions. This vehicle remains extremely hazardous and unpredictable. All roadways in the pursuit corridor between Highway 92 and Interstate 14 are under temporary closure. Pedestrians and motorists must maintain a minimum distance of 100 feet from the suspect vehicle at all times. Do not attempt to follow, block, or communicate with the suspect vehicle or occupants. Report all sightings immediately via emergency channels. Official response. Pursuit units are focusing on containment and avoidance due to the high risk of crashes and collateral damage. Coordination with emergency medical services is ongoing to assist in response to any incidents along the route. Psychological and behavioral analysts are consulting on suspects' vocal patterns and persona shifts for future tactical response planning. And a bulletin. Rebroadcast every 5 minutes until pursuit termination. Emergency Alert System, Incident Conclusion. Issued, August 13, 2025, 9:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Origin, California Highway Patrol, State Department of Public Safety. Subject, suspect ends pursuit voluntarily, no apprehension attempted. At approximately 9:06 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, pursuit units reported the suspect vehicle, a white sedan associated with prior hazardous driving incidents, traveling at moderate speed through downtown Jacksonville while the driver was again observed matching the DAD persona. During a turn onto Pine Street, the vehicle struck an unoccupied parked sedan at low speed and came to a stop. Audio records. Pursuit dashcam audio captured the driver stating calmly, "All right, we'll end it here." The driver then exited the vehicle unarmed, addressed law enforcement units, and stood with hands in pockets. Law enforcement response. Officers and troopers on scene maintained perimeter distance. Witness reports and official statements indicate no officer attempted physical detainment due to unacceptable risk factors associated with the suspect's known destructive capabilities. Suspect engaged briefly in casual conversation with officers. No hostile actions were observed. After several minutes, suspect re-entered his vehicle, which appeared cosmetically undamaged despite the collision, and drove away at low speed. Public safety advisory. The suspect is no longer under active pursuit at this time. No further travel advisories are in effect, though motorists are encouraged to remain alert for potentially erratic vehicles. Members of the public are reminded not to approach or confront this individual under any circumstances. Official statement. The subject elected to end his driving activity tonight. Given recent events and potential hazard to personnel, no physical arrest was made. Investigations remain ongoing. End of all bulletins for incident number 25-817. Local programming has resumed.